Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Okay, Mike, you're going to take roll call?
Thank you. Sharon Falkowitz. Here. Donna Williams.
Here.
Susan Loricella.
Here.
Amy McSweeney.
Here.
Diana Miller.
Here.
Christine Patterson and Chad Henderson are absent. On behalf of management, Corey Harris and Michael Camberg are in attendance. Thank you.
Okay, can I please have a motion to accept the open meeting minutes from the October 14th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, welcome to everybody here and everybody at home. Thank you for coming out in this lovely summery weather. I know that we're all enjoying this immensely, right? Before I get started, I have a statement that I've been asked to read by Chad Henderson, who is not here tonight, unfortunately. So just bear with me while I read this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the November board meeting. I apologize for not being with you in person this evening. I just had surgery and I'm unable to leave the house. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to share a few thoughts about our very successful 2025 and the 2026 budget that will be discussed tonight. Before we get into the budget, I'd like to highlight some of this year's accomplishments, many of which may not be immediately visible, but have made a real impact on our community. This year, we enhanced our monthly news magazine with the help of our committee members and launched The Voice. We upgraded the clubhouse air conditioning system, replaced the heating and cooling units, and repainted the indoor pool. We introduced Tunes on the Terrace, which has quickly become a resident favorite, and built a dedicated dog run in memory of Kathleen Everest for our furry friends and their owners to enjoy. I've heard nothing but happy reviews from pet owners using it. We've also established a consistent multi-vendor bidding process for all contracted repairs and services, ensuring a competitive environment that saves the community money while maintaining quality. We continued to increase the number of roof replacements year over year, in accordance with the amount of roofing funds in the reserve. We've negotiated a major reduction in cable costs for our residents and launched a new website, Concordia55.com, that truly showcases our beautiful community and will become a very valuable tool for our residents. These are just a few examples of the progress we've made, and there's still more ahead for 2026. Over the past 2.5 months, this team has worked diligently to develop the 2026 budget. We carefully reviewed all service contracts, met with numerous vendors, and made strategic changes to improve services and reduce costs. The result is a budget that we believe is fair, transparent, and sustainable. We know the community has faced challenges in the past, from less than ideal decisions by past boards and management to missed opportunities. But this board and management team are committed to moving forward responsibly. The 2026 budget reflects that commitment and positions us for a continued successful path toward financial and physical strength. In closing, I want to express how proud I am of this Board of Trustees, our management team, and all of our maintenance, lifestyle, and administrative staff members. I also want to thank the many residents who provide leadership through our committees, clubs, organizations, and groups. Together, you've all made this a wonderful year of progress and hands down a great place to live. Thank you for all your dedication and support and for making this community a place we're all proud to call home. So that's from Chad. We wish him well. Chad, get better fast. We know you're watching. And come back and join us. And now I'm going to turn this over to Mike Camberg for management report.
Thank you, Amy. Good evening, everyone. My comments will be somewhat brief. We are at the end of our seasonal work there are a handful of addresses for roof replacements that have been approved in 2025 that remain to be completed. And there is a final batch, a handful of driveways, and very little bit of concrete curbing that needs to be completed in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That will conclude our seasonal replacement work and large repair work for the year, short of any emergency issues. We are taking the opportunity now to do 2 things. One, impact and reduce the work order backlog. Some of you will receive emails suggesting that your work order has been completed. If you feel it's not, please don't re-enter the work order. Just reach out for maintenance and explain what you feel is still left to be done. Some of these are older and they're repeated, so we're going to try and clean it up and create a little more efficiency so we're a little bit better prepared for the spring of 2026. The other thing that we're going to do now that we're getting a little bit of some added time in a shorter day, but some added time, shorter daylight day, is we're being more cognizant and observational of the infractions or rules violations. So if there's something going on, you will receive a notice from our office identifying the violation and looking to work with you to cure it. Our goal is not to inundate you with penalties. Our goal is to create a consistent covenants throughout the community. We want everything to be in line with your rules and regulations, and your neighbors expect management to do that for you. So we will take this opportunity now as we're entering into our off-season, so to speak, to do that. So if you see something, please let us know. We'll be happy to call attention to it and look to cure that if it's a violation. The other real big initiative for 2025 that remains is the dryer vent and fireplace certification. We've been receiving more. We've been in touch with Apex, who's been really doing a lot of the dryer vent work here, and they've communicated to us that they have some pending appointments still. So it feels a little inappropriate of us to start to penalize people who are pending appointments for a vendor who just can't keep up. So they've been very good at communicating with us who's left that has a pending service order. And so we will be sending out notices to the remaining number. I think it's just under 390 now. It's 380 some odd units. It's been a noble effort thus far, but we really need 100% compliance to consider this task complete, and our office will continue that diligently. That's really it. I know that as warm as Amy referenced, as warm as it is out here, you're here likely for some information on your budget. So I will be happy to stay at the end for anybody who has any maintenance-related questions or individual comments, but I'm going to be done now and be happy to turn it over to Diana. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We have a lot to cover tonight, so I'm not going to do a full review of our September financials like I normally do. But I will tell you, we had to pay an additional $33,700 in income taxes last month, and we'll also make one more payment of $33,000 in December. This was not budgeted for, as we only learned of this tax bill when our audit was done in April. The good news is we have been advised by our accountants that next year's tax bill will be less than $15,000, and we did budget for that. So that brings us to our 2026 budget. We had 5 contracts ending this year, and we were concerned with what kind of increases we would have to deal with, especially after multi-year contracts. We are pleased to announce we have negotiated with a new landscaper, realizing a $200,000 savings over last year. A new trash collector with a 5% increase this year and 0 increase for the next 4 years. That is a $168,000 savings over the current vendor. Our nursing contract, after 5 years of 0 increase, is going up this year $20,000, or roughly 6%. We're still negotiating for the future years, but we do have this year, 2026, locked in. Our pool and legal contracts remain unchanged. That's 0 increase on those 2 line items. Now for the items we have little or no control over. Our insurance, we have been advised to budget for a 15% increase. Our actual cost this past year was $1,050,000. You'll also notice an increase in cable. That's due to, we will have a full year of service next year. This current budget was based on 9 months. So it's not so much an increase, it's just that we're paying for more months. We also increased our snow budget to $170,000. We still feel strongly that we shouldn't pay for something that may or may not happen. So it's a small increase. You should keep in mind, though, for every $50,000 you increase that snow budget, that's another 0.5% that your HOA fee would have to go up this year. Looking at our income, the biggest change is the cable fee income. It will be $79,000, down $320,000 from what we budgeted this past year. As previously stated, we reduced the anticipated income from the township on snow, trash, and road repairs. We did increase lease processing fees due to the increase from $300 to $500 per lease. Overall, we feel strongly this is a very promising budget. The overall increase is 5.75%. It's the lowest this community has seen in years. Our expenses this year reflect a 4.5% increase, and we will continue to look for ways to cut expenses further without cutting services. Thank you. We will be here when we open it up for Q&As on the budget.
Amy? Sorry, if I may. There are a couple of actions that the board would need to approve in light of this budget preparation. The first would be a motion for the new trash agreement with Jersey Specialized Hauling. It's a 5-year fixed.
I'll make a motion to accept the new contract with Jersey Rubbers.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the contract with him.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor. Thank you. Next will be landscaping, irrigation, snow service. The decision from the board was made to engage a new contractor in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of, at the completion of 2 of 3 years of the agreement. So a notice of termination was sent to the outgoing vendor, American Lawn and Sprinkler, and a service agreement to be engaged in with Good Mowing and Tree Service. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract with Good Mowing.
This is for landscape irrigation and snow removal, to be clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sue. Motion made. Second, please.
I second.
Donna? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? All in favor. Respectfully, I will ask you to please table the nursing services agreement. As Diana mentioned, we're still negotiating the escalation in the subsequent years. They committed to year 1 for our budget purposes, but since our negotiation is not complete, we do not have an actual agreement to take an action on tonight, so we'll table that, please. Thank you. Next up, the board would need to make a motion to increase the lease processing fee. This is the fee that landlords pay to the HOA at the annual engagement of the lease and the renewal of the lease each year. Currently, the fee is $300. Is there a motion to raise that to $500?
I'll make a motion to increase the lease processing fee from $300 to $500.
Thank you, Amy. Is there a second? Sue, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor. Thank you. The next item up, and I brought some forms in. Forgive me, some of you were in here prior to my arrival, but in the back you'll find a package which has the agenda, the budget, and the next part. I won't really call it part 2 as much as it's just the next portion of the financial plan that we were able to articulate as we went through this budget process. As I had explained in some prior meetings, that this felt like a good exercise to do. 2 reasons. One, the board needed a document to kind of help guide them, a narrative, how the HOA got to where they are, and how they can then pick a direction that they feel is best suited for your community. So in addition to that, many residents were asking for something similar. So we took the budget preparation season as the opportunity to start to really dig in, and as we were accumulating this data, put it into a format that's slightly readable. It's still very dry in my opinion, but it is chock full of data points that folks have been asking us for. I do expect to have yet another iteration added to it and released in December, which will be a little bit more forward-looking into 27 and into 28 when we expect to do our reset with our reserve study. But we really needed this budget for 26 to get out, make sure we get it approved, and then we can take the steps to then act on that and then build on it for the subsequent years. So I'm not going to bore you with reading it to you. You can all read very well, but I'll be happy to stay and answer any questions either during Q&A or after the fact, or even after. If you want to make an appointment to come see me, or give me a ring and we'll chat about it. I'll be happy to do so. The information that is in that report has all come out of the on-site management office, the maintenance office, or any of the records that we've been able to pull from previous administrations and some of your file storage here. All of it is supported by prior documentation. So we tried to be as transparent and reliable with the data that we were putting out there for you. If it's confusing, I can understand that it was a little confusing for us as we compiled it, but we'll be happy to speak to it and through it with any of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you, Mike.
My
All right.
pleasure.
Donna Williams, would you like to give us some information that you have?
Yes, thank you. So we'd like to do a dedication, actually a celebration of life outdoor bench. We mentioned it a little bit at the last meeting, but I want to give you a little bit more information. This is a way to celebrate those that we loved and those that we love. We can share love of family, of friends, of cherished individuals that we really want to acknowledge a very special, actually a celebration. We, meaning us, you, organizations, clubs, anyone can actually get a bench with it'll be 6 feet long and have 2 lines of engraved lettering with something like dedicated to James and Thelma Williams, my parents, or you could have Charlie Loves Donna. Maybe that would work. We'll see. But these benches will be beautiful. It will enhance the community. It'll be a way for us to express our love as well. We're going to have the buildings, the ground safety committee, and management. They'll recommend different locations to us. Then the placement of the benches will be like a first-come, first-served basis. The cost of the benches, $995. We'll pick up the rest. And it should be installed in the spring of 2026. So if you're interested in celebrating with this bench, please let me know. I'm going to be working very hard on this. I can't wait to see these beautiful benches all around the community. We have so many good spaces for us walkers to sit down and relax. And I would like you to just contact me, Donna Williams, Concordia, HOANJ.com, for any further information or any information you might think of that I have forgotten today. But I think this is going to be a wonderful enhancement of our community, so I look forward to doing this. Actually, it makes a perfect holiday gift.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And it'll be in the voice, I can read about it.
It will be in the voice and the website.
Thank you, Donna. I'm going to spend just a minute talking about yesterday. Yesterday, we had 2 very successful Concordia website launch events. We had one at 10 a.m. in the morning, and we had another one at 7 p.m. We had over 160 people attend. The feedback on the new website is amazing. Please visit it. It's www.concordia55.com. If you need help getting a login, if you need instructions, if you want to know how to put it on your phone, whatever information you need about it, please let us know. But the feedback has generally been extremely positive, and we had a good time doing it too. You know, we really enjoyed seeing everybody, and so we hope that if you attended, you had a good time, you learned something, and you hopefully will continue using the site. It's going to be the great place, everything all in one place.
I was just going to say we could stay after.
Yeah, if anybody really wants to ask us anything, we can stay after for a little bit as well. Okay, just one other public service announcement is that Jerry Weiss and Yolanda Schiller have been working on the JCP&L project, And so if you notice that there is a street light out, a pole out, please contact either Jerry Weiss or Yolanda Schiller and give them the information. You'll need the pole number if it's available, the nearest house address, the nearest cross street, and what the problem is. And we're going to try and get this up on the website as well so that you can hopefully just do it all from there. So that's any issue, any problems with street lights. Committee updates, anybody have anything? Sharon?
No, not tonight.
Donna, nothing?
I was just gonna, whoops, sorry. I was gonna scream. No. I'm just gonna give a rundown of the upcoming events. Now you can find it on your website, so. But just quickly, I'm just gonna go over some of the things that are coming up. And we have the food drive, that's gonna be from November 6th through the 20th. We're gonna have the toy drive from November 10th to December 5th. A coat drive from November 12th to December 31st. And on the website and also out in the lobby, we have all the flyers and information about that. We're gonna have the second annual Cookies for Charity on December 13th from 10 to 5. We need bakers and we need buyers. So if you like to bake, Dan Slobodian would love to hear from you. So we have a bus ride to New York City Holiday Lights. That's going to be on December 16th. We're going to have a Christmas bus trip to Atlantic City. Tickets are on sale now. And of course, our New Year's Eve party, I think there's only a couple tickets left. And Just in Time Broadway trip is going to be in January 28th, and the tickets are going to go on sale on November 17th. What?
I'm echoing you, sorry. I had to give these announcements.
And just a heads up, next summer, John arranged for us to see Les Mis. It's going to be a special 40th anniversary at Radio City, so that's already been lined up. So keep your eyes open for tickets. Will go on sale later on in the spring. And the only other thing I wanted to bring up, I did a recognition plaque for The Voice. It's in the hallway as you go out the swing for the dedication and really hard work that all those people put in to give us a beautiful quality news magazine. So if you have a minute, stop by and see that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. I second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to open it up to Q&A. Please remember that we are looking for one question per person, not related to your own personal household, but something that is general community. If you have something personal, please save it and see Mike after the meeting. And try to keep your question time to a reasonable amount. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My question is, I'm sure everybody else is
Can we
curious.
have your name and address, please?
Diane Rizzolo, 2A Alexander Hamilton Court. So I'm sure everyone else is as curious as I am. How much is our increase going to be for January?
It's 5.75%.
It is.
We don't have, yes, it's 5.75. That is the lowest we have seen in
Good
many,
job.
many years.
Kudos, because that's fantastic. Thank you.
Henry Tancredi, 157A Concordia Circle. This is for Miss Williams on the park bench program. I had a brief discussion with Chad Henderson a couple of weeks back. I think it would be very helpful to expand that a little bit by providing senior work exercise, I'm not sure what they're called.
Workout stations, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Like you do an exercise every so
do you
often?
have
Yeah.
do you have a subcommittee or something on that whole thing?
I don't now, but I will. I love that idea, thank you.
I would like to be considered
Thank you
to
very
be in
much.
it. And I would propose that we go after the medical vendors. I'm sure there are a number of them that we could have pay for those workstations.
Very nice.
Okay, and thank you for letting me go ahead to the financial gang.
Thank you, Henry.
Paul Rosenheim, 29 Martin Van Buren. Couple of questions on the budget. On the reserve funding, which is the money that gets taken out of the maintenance fees that goes towards the capital reserve fund, how come we're taking out less money in 2026 than in 2025? It's a difference of just around 66,000, while our capital expenses keep going up because we're an older community and more things have to be replaced.
Paul, you're right, it's 65,960.
Right.
But our increase in the fund balances also increased, so the net increase going into the capital reserve is $46,460, less than what went in this year. However, this year, we will have a substantial amount left over.
In 2025?
In 2025, we will have a surplus on our capital reserve. And you should understand, you can't take from the capital reserve and put it into operating, but you can take from operating and put it into capital reserve. So we increased the snow budget 70,000, and yes, we did decrease what's going into the capital by 46,000, but we have a surplus.
Okay. On the reserve interest, do we really expect the interest rates to drop so much, because the balance is going to drop 35,000 and we're budgeting 25,000 we're expected to have?
2 years ago, we were getting 6% interest. Now we're barely getting 4. So yes, it has dropped.
Right, but we're getting a lot of interest this year regardless at the 4%, so now we're reducing the expected interest even more. And it seems like,
In 2026, yes, because the interest is down lower than what we got in 20. So when we put money into CDs in 2024, expiring in late 2025, mid 2025, we were getting 6%. Now we're getting 4, and the next ones we get, we're going to be lucky if we get 4%. So yes, we do expect a decrease.
okay. And then one other question, and I'll go to the back
Sure.
of the line. How many home sales are we expecting? Because you increased the revenue by, I think it was $45,000, the discretionary $5,000, the capital $40,000. And the best way, in my opinion anyway, to figure out what we can expect from home sales is to figure out how many home sales we're going to have, because our home sales are averaging for the past 5 years over 100, but they've been going down in the past couple of years. Right now, we're at 78 as of September, but we budgeted far less.
I'd rather be under than over on that, Paul, because we have no idea. The housing market could crash and we could have no sales.
Yeah, but
So I would much rather be under than that than over.
okay, I'll go back to the end of the line.
Thank you.
Frank Moffa, 6 Ingram Drive. I have questions on the financials more than the budget. So I was surprised to hear that we had an audit,
Give
tax
me
audit.
1 second so I can pull that out, Frank. Okay.
So I was surprised to hear that we had a tax audit.
No, it was part
No,
of
no.
our year, sorry. It was part of our annual audit. So when we were going through our audit process was the same time that the cable fee was effectuating. So it was into our year already. We were past our budget for '25.
Okay.
We were then told by Wilkin Gunn Plan, the income we were receiving from the cable fee had tax liability.
Right.
We did not have an opportunity to budget for that, so that was an unbudgeted tax liability in 2025. We're making those payments. The auditor brought it to our attention during the audit, not tied to an audit, to be clear.
I have a financial background. It sort of doesn't make sense. You know, we're required to spread out that that income over 5 years, the tax should be spread out.
I
over
agree.
5
We agree.
We asked that question ad nauseum, sir. We could only spread out the income. You had to take the tax burden in the year you took the payment.
Oh, well, okay.
And,
All right,
and
so-
I would encourage you, if you can articulate it nicer, please send me an email. I'll send it right to Sam Schneider, and I'll be happy to advocate for it. We would love nothing more. Well,
Okay.
Mohammed, ultimately, yes, but
Okay.
Sam brought it to our attention originally, yes. But I would be more than happy to try and undo that.
Okay.
Nothing gives me greater pleasure than sticking to the IRS. Sorry,
Me
excuse
too.
me. In case anybody here works for the IRS, sorry.
And the other question, well, I have a more question, but under financials, so we wrote off $47,000 from the township, receivables from the township. We wrote off $47,000.
No, we didn't write anything off. We received money from them.
No, it says here, to correct year-to-date actual amounts.
What are you reading?
The second item in the operating budget variance current month, so that.
Oh, I thought you were on the financials. Wait,
Under financials, the second line on here.
no, we didn't write that out. We received they had classified that, I'm sorry, I have to get my thoughts.
You said that we wrote off.
No,
I-
it wasn't written off, but it wasn't correctly applied to the AR account.
Okay.
So
Because in prior
on the
discuss-
balance sheet, it had been brought to their attention.
Prior discussion we had was that the receivable from the township was overestimated.
Yes,
And-
we didn't write that off yet. This 47,000 that you're seeing, that's the $47,000 that we received in August, I believe. They did not apply it correctly to account 21209, the township receivable.
Okay.
So now they corrected it in September.
So then you're telling me.
So the AR went down. In August, that AR from the township
Right.
was at around 280,000, I believe.
Yeah.
It's now down to 220,000. And we just received a check from them 2 days ago for 38 or 39,000.
Okay. But I guess going back to the prior discussion that we had, that the
That
accounts
write-off hasn't been
receivable-
done yet. The auditors will do that when they do our audit.
Okay.
But I did already have a conversation with them.
Okay. And we're confident in the amount that we have receivable from the township?
May I? So I'm working with a woman named Pam Broski in the township in our office here, went back to where we found this kind of went a little haywire, and put together a tracker, sent it to them with copies of the statements, the invoices, the bills they look for, everything we have. Asked them to verify on their end. They're in the process of doing that. They found 2 quarters we submitted they didn't reimburse us for in street lighting. We're expecting that still. And then there's something else for road repair, a few other items to still go through. Road repair was the other one. I think that was it, the 2 lighting and 1 road repair, that this process is yielding where they will still be sending the HOA money.
Okay.
But I do believe, as we've been saying, that the previous budget was allowing for too much reimbursement, and we weren't seeing that.
Okay.
So we've made that adjustment for '26.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify that point.
I just want to reiterate that I'm not totally happy with our CPA firm. And I think if there's any opportunity, I think we should try to look at a new CPA firm.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Board, fellow residents. My name is Patrick O'Grady. I live at 23 Abraham Lincoln Court. We're fairly new residents. We moved in May. I'd like to say how nice the community is. We love it here so far. Couple questions, or one question and a concern that I have is, and may have started to been answered by some of the report about the maintenance contract or landscaping contract being canceled with American. Was any thought given to this before the leaf cleanup season was over? I mean,
Yeah, so in short, they are here through the end of this month. They need to complete leaf cleanup. The beginning of this month saw the removal of the summer flowers and the installation of cabbage. It was supposed to have been mums in October. Admittedly, the HOA made that decision to change that. That was not an American decision. The vendor had no say in that. We asked them to do that. But they are still owed money, to be very clear. They're not paid and not working. If they want to be paid for their services rendered in November, they need to render some services in November. I am in touch with their crew chief and account manager 3 times a week right now, and I send them photos of what I see. I am very observant. I see a lot of the same things you're likely seeing. I see leaves all over storm drains, catch basins. I see, to me, that's hazardous. That leads to a dangerous situation. Leaves on the lawn, okay, they'll get to them. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But when I see, after a rainstorm and we have some ponding, and the next day, 24 hours later, I still see those leaves there, I have an issue with that. And I've explained this to them, and I've expressed this to the board that we're explaining this to them, and the board has been guided not to release any payments to this vendor until we are satisfied that the work that they owe us for this remaining month is performed.
Okay, it's been several weeks since they've been here. They
They
have not been here in the month of November.
They have, we
That
have
I've
seen,
seen.
yes, we have seen it's a large community, and you're in a central spot right on Abe Lincoln, so you will see a lot of activity coming and going every which way, and usually there's a presence around the clubhouse. It is admittedly less.
Right.
Yes, I don't
mean,
think anybody is.
I've taken rides around to observe and find out if it was just our area, and I do know that they have quite the undertaking here with the amount of properties
do.
that are here, but I have not seen a presence of American Lawn and Sprinkler in here at least 2 weeks, and maybe 3.
It's been skeletal. I see it because I come in the morning and when I leave, and I pass through, I check the yard, I look at who's in, what trucks are here, I know how they're reporting to work, where they kind of should be. We have 2 maintenance folks trying to keep tabs. We're aware that it's diminished. The new vendor, however, has been very agreeable and offered to step up and help us with the cleanup. So we have funds. We're not in a problem where we can pay the vendor, but if American's not up to the task, our new vendor's more than happy to get it cleaned up for us in a moment's notice. 24 hours, I was told. They can be
Understood,
here.
and one of my concerns was what you mentioned was all the sewers, the sewer drains, I mean, everywhere you go, they're just packed with leaves. It's not like leaves have just blown there.
Understood.
I mean, they've been packed down
Understood.
with, several weeks' worth of rain.
I see it outside of the community as well, but I definitely see it inside the community. I don't manage outside the community. I manage in here. You're looking to me to make sure that inside the gates are cleared.
Right.
So I am aware of this. It is not lost on me at all.
Okay, very good, understood. I'd just like to make one further comment. As a fairly new resident of only 6 months, I'd like to, comment and tip my hat to the maintenance department that have been very responsive to a few of our requests, including a couple of gutters that were hanging, leaf cleaning, and some concrete work that I had done that was taken care of and addressed in a very, very timely manner. Great. So I'd like to, you never hear the good all the time, and I'd like to mention that I'm very happy with it.
I'll
Thank
convey
you.
that to them. Thank you. They appreciate it. They work hard for this community.
Very good. Thanks again. Thank
Thanks,
you, everyone.
Patrick. Welcome to Concordia.
Thanks so much.
Jerry Kaufman, 7A John Adams. Before I get to my question, I'm just going to assume that we're not going to have the same problem with mapping of the irrigation system that we had with the last vendor previous to.
I am optimistic that we're going to have very accountable people who want to do right by you. The landscape, if I may, I'll take an extra second. The landscape bid process in particular was very good for this community. The vendors who were tasked, we asked for proposals, dug in, did their homework, and found that the acreage that was reported in the spec prior to our arrival here may not have been exactly accurate as far as the serviceable area. So we're seeing a generous reduction in the cost, I think because there's a better handle on what is actually going to be getting done. This vendor seems to have a very good understanding of what they've undertaken. They have been introduced to this property at least a year ago, doing non-contract work for us, so there's some familiarity with them here. All of the landscapers that bid all do non-contract work here, so no one was cold or unfamiliar with this community. So we're very optimistic that we will have equal to or greater operations. and for equal to or less than money.
Okay, what I was thinking about was the last people we had before American didn't turn over the mapping of where everything was, so when American came here, they were blind. What I was referring to was, are we gonna get that information from American?
That map hangs in my office, Jerry,
Great.
since last year, just so you're
I
aware.
figured that,
Yes,
but I just.
we got that out of them last season.
Okay, great, great.
Yes.
So now I'm going to ask my question. I am not advocating for this. I just think that if you guys have not talked about it, or if anyone at any previous boards have not talked about it, maybe it's something that should be looked at. I just heard, and I don't even know if this is accurate, I recently heard that Clearbrook they kept their gates, their security gates, but they got rid of manning the gates directly at the gate, and they're being remotely manned from, I guess, I'm assuming with camera and remote from an office. And, you know, apart from that, I know that this security company does do rounds and checks in different stations and stuff. But I'm wondering if you guys have thought at all, you know, looked at the cost benefit of doing what Clearbrook did or something like it.
I'll be happy. Yeah, so it's a proxy guard system. This is what the style of security services that it renders. It's basically like a call center. So there's a bullpen full of folks that answer for whatever the community is, and they'll read the script as it pops up on the screen, and it's like a laptop, like a tablet or an iPad at the gate. And you're talking, it's almost like a Zoom call or a FaceTime call. We're very, you know, COVID made us very familiar with this video call process. So this is a program that basically runs that way. It can call the direct homeowner. It can call the central office for them. There's a lot of different operational advantages, but it does eliminate the staffing. And it's while it is laborious, they're people. They're real people, and management has yet to see it rolled out where we feel it's worth bringing to this board. I believe it will get there. We keep looking at it. We have other communities in for service that are a little smaller that are putting them in, and they're great test subjects for us to observe. We're learning from some of their pain points. Clearbrook has some. Feel free to ask anybody who lives there. They've got some there's a learning curve. I don't suggest it's a mistake. I suggest there's a learning curve to it, to anything. But if they can get their population to embrace it, they will save money. If we can find that same type of momentum here, yeah, it's a $500,000 line item on your budget, security. So any way we can look to improve that service or reduce that cost would be absolutely to the HOA's advantage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Harvey Greenberg, 13B, Ethan Allen Drive. I work security. You mentioned something about reporting lights out on the website. Security drives around. Why can't they make a notation when they make their rounds that the lights are out? They drive around all over the community. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a good idea. They're driving around already. They can make a notation of what lights are out, where they're out. And I know for a fact that on the circle, there are lights out that have been out for 3 or 4 years. Because I
Yes.
complained about it before.
Thank you. Irrespective, and I don't disagree, security could absolutely be collecting that. And at a certain point, they may very well be. The bigger problem we have is once we've reported that to the utility company, it's getting action. So we've reported them 3, 4, 5 times sometimes. And so while security does the rounds, they come in, they give us that list. There may be 10 on there, 2 are new, we report those 2, but the issue is the turnaround more than anything.
I understand that. I complained 4 years ago about 8 lights being out on the circle. There were still at least 5 out on the big poles. Yeah. You know, I know you complained to them. You got the mayor involved. You got all kinds of stuff.
Can I make a suggestion, sir? This is Jerry Weiss. I'm sorry, Jerry, to put you on the spot. Sitting in the front row, and he is working with politicians, JCP&L. If you could have a conversation with him, he would take the information from you. Am I right, Jerry? and get some sort of answers for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
With regards to the September report, can you please tell FSR to do a little better job on their proofing? I'll give you a couple of examples. On the front page of the report, the first line under the variances, normally they tell us how many variances they are. They missed putting in 14. A minor thing, but it just shows lack of attention to detail.
I'm sorry, what do you want, Paul?
On the first page of the report, the FSR
Yeah, down
September-
where it says
Okay.
variances in excess of $5,000?
Right, the
You
very-
want to know, you want a number count for them?
They've always put it on, every other month has had it. It's a minor thing, but it's...
It's a
lack-
minor thing, Paul.
Right, but it's lack of attention to detail. The
No,
other
it's
thing-
change.
Well,
Anything else?
yeah, go down a little further to the, next to the last line. Social activity expense. Stouts Transportation, I just don't know. I'm-
That's the name of the show we're going to.
That's it, that
That's
is?
the name of the show.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I mean, but
Okay.
looking at it, it looks like
That's
a
okay.
mistake there. And and I sent an email to the board about this, the projected actual report on the back. It needs to be reformatted so that the numbers
Yes,
can be
and I did
seen.
answer you
Yeah,
that, yes,
and the other thing on the projected actual report, right now it shows that we're projected to have a deficit at the end of the year of $368,696. How is that going to be covered?
it's not going to be that high, that's how.
But there's
So there are expenses, when you do a budget, you know this, Paul,
Yeah.
that expenses get spread throughout the entire month. But our expenses in November and December are not as high as those from, say, March or April through October. So our expenses in November and December are going to be much lower. We also had about $100,000 worth of items that we are having reclassified, which are going to come out of operating and go into capital expenditures. So that's not reflective in that numbers.
And where is the dog park? Has the
Can you
dog park?
put that?
Oh, sorry. Has the dog park expense been paid yet?
Yes, it has.
And how much and where was it applied to?
It's out of the reserve, it's under the fence. There's a reserve item on, sorry, there's a line item under reserves for fencing. It came from there. I think it was about $8,000 or so on the fence.
Where is it on the financial?
On your reserve income statement?
Yeah,
You should see, I didn't bring them, forgive me, I didn't bring them with me, but there should be a reserve income statement. It should break down. There should be something that says fencing.
I have it. The last page of the financials.
okay.
It breaks
After
out the
the income
roofing, siding,
statement.
gutters, concrete. Should
Also-
have driveways, you should have fencing in there also. Fencing or retaining wall replacement, I think they lumped into one.
There is a line item for fence repair and replacement.
Okay, so for current actual, there's 0.
Yeah, but the year-to-date actual is 9,200.
So 8,000 of the 9,200 is for the dog.
Yeah, it was paid a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
I would check previous months, you'll see it was
Yeah.
Okay, all righty.
We said right along that that expense was less than $10,000.
Frank Moff, 6 Ingram Drive. One last question. So we negotiated a lot of new contracts with the landscapers, insurance, whatever. Did FSR have anything to do with the negotiations?
I mean, short answer, yes, but I mean, what do you mean specifically? I'm FSR.
Well,
I'm
I just
involved.
wonder
I contacted
whether
all of them. So what's your, I don't
whether
understand the
whether
question.
any of the pricing was
Is there any revenue sharing going to go on? No,
is
sir.
there any commissions that
No,
were
you can come right
no.
out and ask. No,
So-
sir.
So we're not going to get a same
sir.
situation that we had
No.
with the
No,
Comcast.
There's no revenue share. To be clear, we went out for 8 different designations, and I'll clue you in.
Okay.
We looked for attorneys, trash haulers, porter services, nurse services, alarm monitoring services, landscape irrigation, snow, maintenance services, and pool vendors.
Okay.
We have no revenue sharing in any of those services
And
at all.
I'll just go back to one of my other questions that I
I
had.
just want to add one thing to that. The only FSR person involved in that was Mike.
Mike. Okay, great. I want to take back that thing that I said about spreading spreading the tax over 5 years. The IRS is on a cash basis, so whenever you receive the cash, you.
Like I said, if you can word it in a manner that I can sell it, I'll be happy to try. Frank, nothing give me more pleasure than achieving that.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for clarifying that, though, too.
Hi.
Okay, good evening, board members. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Keep it
Ms. James, 2A, Aaron Burr.
Thank you.
My concern is, I am here as of May, and I am happy to be here, and so far since May, I am enjoying myself. I'm also recently retired. I don't look my age, but I'm age appropriate to be here. My concern is, I have a shared garage, and I do have a vehicle, and the person next to me does not have a vehicle, but they are accumulating items. And since I've been here, the items have accumulated. And my concern is for safety. We had an issue where the power went out, and in the midst of everything, I was cooking, I had an event, so I had to pack up, and when I went into the garage, in a panic, it didn't go up, but it was some difficulty me getting out because of the items next to me. So I don't know how to handle it, but
You tell me. Thank you. So, yeah, you're in a carriage house, it sounds like, right? There's a row of garages that are all attached, but not
Yes.
attached to the home.
right.
Right. So, in short, it's fire hazard. What's going on there sounds, without seeing it, sounds like a fire hazard. We will have our maintenance folks go out, we'll reach out for them, and we'll notify them of this. They have to correct it. You can't leave debris like that. You know, there's storage space in the garage, that's one thing, but to leave it open and loose like that, generally, it's not permissible. So we'll address it. I have your address, 2A Aaron Burr. Myself or one of our maintenance folks will be out tomorrow to take a look and identify it.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
did-
This is the type of thing, excuse me, that I say, if you see something, please let us know, because we want to maintain your quality of life.
So how do you follow up on it?
We reach out for them and we give them a notice to correct it, and then we make sure that they correct it, and if they don't, they'll gotta pay a penalty. It's
I'm
very
new
simple.
here. I don't
It's
want to
okay.
start any
You haven't done
problems,
anything. With all due respect, you didn't put the stuff there. You're following the rules, and we appreciate that.
but- Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Concordia.
Hello, it's John Levatier. I'm at 174B Concordia Circle. I just have a quick question about the fence between Stop and Shop and Concordia. It looks like a slum. A couple of years ago, I called the manager of the property, and he said it's our fence because he doesn't care if he sees us. And somebody fixed it, I'm assuming our. So are you guys, I know you're aware of it, but and there's some controversy as to whose fence and so on. Where do we stand with it?
So, sure, it's a good talking point. The fence that is currently erected is the HOA's. You're under no obligation to keep it there, and it is not a perimeter fence. The funny thing about the commercial strip mall, they're obligated to have a perimeter fence. They're relying on the HOA's fence, which is 25 feet in from the boundary line. They can't rely on that as a perimeter fence. For us, it's a privacy, or, I know it doesn't look pretty, but it's a beautification fence. It's not a perimeter fence. They're erroneously relying on it. They're tasking us with the full maintenance of it, but they need it for their site plan approval, not ours. So we're in a little bit of a disagreement with them.
You're
I'm
dealing-
aware of it,
Okay.
and
All
I'm
right.
sorry that it's an unfortunate eyesore. I acknowledge it's an eyesore. I don't think there's a person up here that has seen it that knows it's absolutely an eyesore. And to make matters worse, we cut the trees off it, John.
Yeah.
We made it uglier, but we had to make it safer. We took the head pressure off it, they call it. All that head weight that was leaning and forcing the wall to kind of pull away, we removed that. So
Oh, the wall is in
the
trouble too?
wall,
I'm
was-
just talking
was-
about that wooden fence. You
I
didn't
know,
get-
you're talking about the wooden fence.
Wow,
The
there's a
reason
little
that we
deeper.
haven't touched the fence is the wall is the bigger issue.
Okay,
That wall is not, and I'll show it to you because I know you live right there. That wall is pushing. It's supposed to
Pushing
be
out,
staggered, and is not. It's pushing flush. And if you go over to it, because you're right there, you go walk and you run your finger up it, and you'll see it's supposed to have little graduated steps. They're all pushed flush. Some of them are even pushed a little bit out. That's the earth heaving. That's the root system. So we had to cut all those trees to eliminate all that vegetation there to take that weight off the top and stop that pressure from pushing down on the wall. Now, we're not compelled to take an action because the wall's going to collapse. We will now negotiate with the Stop and Shop folks to come up with something that suits both you and them. You have a path, your community has a path right there. It's a great, great convenience, accessible path. That should be maintained. They won't allow us to get electric to it. They had the power to it. To prove the point that they're required to have that perimeter fence in place, not us. We can't get power to it unless we bring it from our side and come up through the stairs. So I started to work that all up. We stopped at a certain point because, quite frankly, the dollars were approaching 100K. It's reserve money, and we had more roofs to fix than we had walls to repair. I'll be very honest with you, sir. We had to prioritize. I believe that decision was correct. I stand by it. I still make the same decision if I had to. So I'm sorry I made an ugly fence uglier by removing the trees that hid it. But it's not because I want to make you feel bad. It's because I'm trying to do right by your community. I promise you that.
as long as you guys are aware of it,
I'm on it.
dealing with it,
I am.
I'm fine with it.
And I'm
you
on
know.
their third property manager now.
I did talk to a property manager a couple of years ago, and he says if we're going to put a fence up, we would put it right on at the street level, which would not help you at all,
Right.
because we would still see in there in the back of the Stop and Shop, you know.
No, understood.
Okay, I mean, all right, as long as everybody knows.
To be
and-
continued, I promise.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Grace at 12 Alexander Hamilton Court. I'm sorry. Grace Beasley. I just want to ask, because I had a little accident walking right out in front of where we are at now, Clubhouse. The sidewalks are, particularly when you get in this area, a little higher. And of course, I don't know what happened, but I slipped, broke my finger. And I wanted to ask, is there a reason why it's elevated over here in this area and not, I'm sure people are in walkers or wheelchair accessible. The sidewalk is high. And I don't know, I guess I didn't notice it and I fell right over where the parking area is. I went to see the nurse. I later had to find out my finger was broken. But I'm just a little concerned because I do walk and I know other people walk. And when you're trying to speed walk, it's a little dangerous because the curve goes up higher.
So great. I'm just trying to understand. You're talking about from the asphalt to the sidewalk. The curb itself is higher here than elsewhere in the community.
Yes.
Yes. I wasn't part of the developer when they put it in, but that's generally, you will have a sidewalk that's a rise above with that curbing for water. When you have rain, it's basically to kind of help to channel the water away from the sidewalk and keep it. That's why there's usually that little change. I don't believe that the height is in excess of what is code permissible, but I'll check it and confirm.
Well,
I don't mind.
Yeah, when you are walking, may not be describing it correctly, but when you're in the corner, it goes down. Where, like, if you're in a wheelchair,
Right.
you go up.
Yeah, okay, so a
But
curb
when
cut, they call
you
that.
get to around here where you start parking at, where maintenance is parking, you don't have that.
No. No,
Okay,
you only
is
have it
it-
at the end.
At the end? No, it's not at the end. It's not at the end. That's where I tripped at the end. That's what I'm bringing up.
In the front here, you're talking about? In the front,
sidewalk.
the front of the clubhouse, the horseshoe in the
Where
front of the clubhouse.
Yeah, no, well, not the clubhouse specifically, where the maintenance is
I'm
parked.
sorry, okay, so the maintenance parking lot. Okay, different one. Okay.
Over there, outside, when you're walking, all the other sidewalks. Oh, sorry, I forgot. When you're walking and you're coming on, at the end, everything is going down. And you can just keep walking, it's going down. But when you get to over here where the parking is, which is where I fell, and a lady helped me up.
No, in the parking lot of maintenance. I
Where
think
the
I'm
maintenance
following
is,
you.
right there,
Yeah.
It's not going, and I mean, obviously, I put my foot up, and I guess I didn't.
My
Get it up
only
fast enough.
comment would be, Grace, I think it's where the parking lot is meeting the asphalt walkway, and there's a curb there, because I think at one point the asphalt walkway was either scheduled to be concrete, or they replaced concrete with asphalt. I can't, it's prior to my time, but I believe that's the area you're talking about. And then it goes back to my original comment about, it's usually done that way for rain control and water control. It's to prevent it from cascading along the walkway. You can walk with a greater reliance that it's drier versus the lower area where it ponds. I hope that helps.
That's fine, I'll be
Thank
more
you.
careful. The other thing is, I heard the gentleman talking about the gate going to Stop and Shop, and the gate is not locked. Is that because you are trying to negotiate?
No, Stop and Shop's landlord cut the power, I was told sometime shortly after Hurricane Sandy, I believe it was. That gate failed to operate since then. And we've asked them to restore the electric. They won't. The only way for us to do it is to come across our street. We don't have any electric on that side of Concordia. It's on the other side of the street, so. It's on my list of things to do.
All right,
Promise.
thank you, thank you.
If there's no other questions, are there any other questions? We will say good evening. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for watching on our live stream.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.